Hello all, I'm Marin. Welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be my November round of Bookopoly. So let's go ahead and get into it. So to start off, let's go ahead and do a recap of what my rolls were for my October TBR and let you know how I did with those rolls. So roll one landed me on a book with a building on the cover. For that, I chose The Babysitter Lives by Stephen Graham Jones, which I did read. Next, I landed on Community Shelf and I drew the card for a duology. For that, I read King of Scars by Leigh Bardugo and I did finish it. Roll 3 was initially a chance card, but I went ahead and used a reward prompt to swap it out for a book for a vlog. I had initially chosen Everyone in My Family Has Killed Someone by Benjamin Stevenson. However, I did not actually film a buzzword vlog in October, so I swapped that out again for Mixed Signals by B.K. Borison, which I read for my 1 week, 1 genre romance challenge. So I will link that video up above, but I did read it. Roll 4 landed me on nonfiction. For that, I chose The Little Book of Restorative Discipline for Schools. I have not read this yet, but it is tiny, and I am filming this about a week and a half early. So this will get done. It's just not done yet, but I do plan on reading it before the end of the month. So we're gonna go ahead and check it off. And finally, roll 5 landed me on romance. For that, I chose Deep End by Ali Hazelwood, which I did read. So it was a very nice month. I didn't have any doubles, so that meant 5 books only. I've read 4 of the 5 as it stands right now, but I will be reading that 5th one before the end of the month. So that means I do get to pick another reward prompt for my game. So I added a couple new ones in today. As always, if you have ideas for reward prompts, feel free to leave them down below in the comments, but I'm gonna go ahead and give those a shuffle and we'll see which reward I can add to my back pocket. I do still have the Ignore Doubles reward from really early in the year that I have not used yet, but let's see what I'm gonna add to that. So right now I do have 4 reward prompts, so I'm gonna go ahead and just give these a shuffle and draw one and see what I can use if I need to. All right, so here they are. I'm gonna go ahead and just pull this one that's sticking out. Oh, okay, this one says, start game with only 4 rolls. So usually I would do 5 base rolls and then add doubles onto that, but this way I get to start with only 4 of them. So that's gonna be what I'm gonna go ahead and use today because I do have quite a lot of books that I need to try to get read in November because we are getting to the end of the year and I am running out of time to read my books. So starting with 4 rolls will hopefully be helpful, but let me get the game board set up and we will get ready for the first roll and see what November has in store for me. All right, I do have the board set up here, so I will be starting on the romance square as that is where I ended last month. I have my 2 reward prompts here, and then I do still have a challenge prompt that I have not yet completed, which is to read a second chance author. The audiobook that I was waiting on has just come in, so if that comes up, I will put that on this TBR. So let's go ahead and see what roll 1 is going to give me. Okay, we are starting with an 8. And that is a small book. So that is a book that is less than 300 pages. So let me see what I can fit into that prompt. All right, as you saw, roll 1 landed me on a small book. So for me, this is a book that is less than 300 pages, and I am going to use this prompt to tackle one of the books I need to read for those Goodreads seasonal challenges. This one will work for the Spine Tinglers challenge, and I will be reading Our Wives Under the Sea by Julia Armfield. This book has like 250 pages. I've heard of some people that really enjoyed it, and it sounds very interesting, so that's what I'm going to be doing for this first prompt. All right, here's roll 2. Oh, okay, that is a 9. And that is lowest rated. So that means I need to look at my Goodreads list and see which book is the lowest rated that I physically own. I'm gonna put that little caveat on there. So let's scroll Goodreads and take a look. All right, roll 2 landed me on lowest rated. So for this, I went to my Goodreads want to read shelf, and then I just scrolled until I could find something that I had physical access to. And it turns out that this actually will fit for my Second Chance Author challenge prompt because El Dorado Drive by Megan Abbott has a 3.49 rating, which is one of the lowest rated on my want to read list. So I can finally check this off, which is perfect. As I mentioned, the audiobook for this has come in, so I'll finally get it read and can get rid of that challenge prompt because it will finally be completed in November. All right, roll 3 is a 9. And that is the book for the Literally Dead book club. This is always helpful because that means I don't have to try to squeeze it in anywhere else. So, okay, perfect. Roll 3 landed me on the pick for the Literally Dead book club. This is a book club that is run by Kayla over at Books and Lala. We read mystery, thriller, horror books from February through November. So this is the last pick for 2025. And this is, I think, a horror book, at least based on the cover. And that is Futility, which is written by Nuzo Ono, I believe is how it's pronounced. Now, I have pre-ordered the audiobook version of this book because my library does not even have this in their catalog. So I've gone ahead and pre-ordered it through Audible, but it is not supposed to come to me until like almost the end of November. So I'm gonna hope that I can get it read in the month, but if not, just want to give a heads up. This one may have to carry over into December if that pre-order does not actually come due when it says it should, but we never know with things like that. The paperback version was released in October. I think it came out just last week, like on the 18th or something like that. So that one is out, but I don't buy, as a general rule, mystery, thriller, or horror books because I don't tend to want to reread them. So I am going to wait for that Audible audiobook to come out. So hopefully this will get read in November, but it is the pick for the Literally Dead book club. So it has to go for this prompt. All right. And this may be our final roll. So let's see what it is. Yes, it is the final roll. That is a 6. And that is nonfiction. So let me see what I want to do for that. All right, roll 4, which turned out to be the last roll. So this was another really nice month, no doubles. That is super surprising. But anyway, roll 4 landed me on nonfiction again. That is a roll that I had in October as well. But this one works out because this is going to work for the memorable memoirs prompt for the Goodreads seasonal challenge. So I will be reading I'm Still Here, Black Dignity in a World Made for Whiteness by Austin Channing Brown. This one is available on audio through my library, and I can get a physical copy as well. So that is what I will be reading for my nonfiction pick for November. And that completes my official November TBR. So let's chat about other books that I'm wanting to read this month, because I do have some vlogs that I want to film and some goals that I need to really attempt to get done. So let's chat about those next. So first of all, I will be doing a buzzword vlog in November. The buzzword is to read a book with the word never in the title. So for that, I am going to finally be reading I Who Have Never Known Men. This has gotten a lot of hype. A lot of people have read it and enjoyed it. It's really, really short, and I'm going to read it for that buzzword prompt. For the buzz cover prompt for November, we are to read a book with food or drink on the cover. So I will finally be reading Legends and Lattes by Travis Baldree. This version has tea right here, or a latte, if you will, on the front. So I will be reading this. This is also a book that works for one of those Goodreads seasonal challenges. This one is for heart warmers, and I'm looking forward to giving it a read because I know that a lot of people have really, really enjoyed it. I have this and the sequel in like the collector's edition format, so hopefully I will enjoy this. We will see. But those are my buzzword picks for November. I also am planning on doing 2 more duology vlogs. I did a vlog for the King of Scars duology in October. I'll link that up above if you want to go back and watch that. But I am going to finally be reading the Shepherd King duology by Rachel Gillig. That's gotten quite a lot of hype. So that is One Dark Window and Two Twisted Crowns. And then I'm also planning on reading the Villains duology by V.E. Schwab. So I will be reading Vicious and Vengeful. I know that she has announced that she is going to be writing a 3rd book, but right now I am considering this a duology because that is how it was initially published, and that's how the box set that I purchased was published. So I'm going with it. It will at least get me ready for a 3rd book if and when she does release it next year. But those are the 2 other vlogs that I'm planning on filming for sure in November. So you can stay tuned for those if you would like to hear my thoughts on those books. I do also still have some series books I would like to get to. I have books on my 2025 TBR that I need to get to, and I need to read a couple more Nancy Drew books to get caught up before the end of the year. So November could potentially be a very busy reading month. I'm going to cross my fingers that I can get a lot of reading done, and hopefully these will all be winners. But anyway, that's gonna do it for my November TBR. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please leave me a thumbs up. Consider subscribing to my channel if you would like to see more from me. If you made it to the end of this video and would like to leave an emoji to show you were here, you can leave a die emoji in honor of the dice that I roll for my game, who have been suspiciously nice to me the last 2 months. And I will see you in my next video. Bye everyone.